Because that's the actual question here. Did you really feel better? You would go back to this woman, and momentarily she would make you feel valued, wanted, desired. She would give you what you wanted, exactly what you needed on a physical level, right? Then you would go ahead and invite her for like maybe a dinner, or get her something, buy her something, so she would be all like, you know, so you would feel like a man. Like you can actually satisfy a woman and give woman something. And but really, days would go by. Did you really feel better in your soul, in your heart? Because the reason you want to run is because you feel, oh, you feel alone, you feel rejected, you don't feel good enough, you need that external validation. But does it really numb the pain? It doesn't. Because what do I say to you guys always? If we cannot alchemize within ourselves emotions and feelings that numb the emptiness within, whoever you think is numbing that externally, it's just momentarily, it's just an illusion. But you have strength. And you had reflection in your previous deck. You are realizing there's a reason. If this video found you, if this reading is for you, there's a reason for that. Because you are in a moment of temptation like you were before, but you're not the man that you were before. You have in you to really see the pattern, to really overcome this. I want to do another row. Lust is not passion, you guys. Lust is not passion. The divine masculine on a journey, it's one of the key things that you have to realize. Passion cannot be deprived of spirit. Passion cannot be deprived of love. Passion, it's not just that you get aroused by someone and you get excited and you feel that, you know, in a situation that you are desired and then you can dominate. That's not passion, that's lust. These are all feelings of the ego. True passion comes from the soul. True passion always is our compass towards our soul's destiny, soul's contract. We can only have true passion with our real soul connection. So twin souls and soulmates. We cannot have true passion with karmic. What we have with karmic is lust, is what satisfies our ego, nothing more. There's no heart, there's no soul in it. It feels like it, but in a moment when we are bound by ego and we're bound by shadow, but it's not it. It's just seeking for validation. We have faith. That's actually nice. I feel like you're really in the vortex of emotions and there's something really big is happening. We have determination. That's good. Determination is also my card of self-control. Remember what we said in part 1? True men need self-control. There is no divine masculine without self-control, because this is through self-control. This is how we rise above. I say this to you guys all the time. Us women, again, we sit on a portal to spirit realm. We have our womb. We have natural capacity because we are the masters of internal world. We're the feminine. So we have natural capacity to connect more to our hearts, to connect more to our womb, to connect more to higher realms, to something bigger in life. Whereas men, you're the master of the external world, the physical world. So confirmation. So you are more prone to really stay on a shallow level of this physical world. So in order to rise above, to connect to your heart, you need to really see within yourself that you have the strength to say no to things that are shallow, no to things that are deprived of spirit, of love, of heart. And this is how you build self-respect as well. I feel you're powering through. We're going to do shadow work in a moment. I want to do 2 more. That's too many. It's too many, Spirit. Rejection. Happiness. You know, ghost. Ghost. Anxiety. I feel like overall, just to summarize, I feel like something triggered, whatever's happening now, it was triggered by something. So you either actually had a moment of contact with your feminine because you were lonely, because you were longing, because you know, the feeling of love towards her was reignited. You either decided, I feel like it can be both ways for this collective. You either decided to reach out, and you actually reach out, but you are already on a different level of this journey, right? And you would feel like she rejected you, but I feel like maybe she just now is loving herself. It's part of this journey. Us feminists, we have to get to a point when we say no because you're giving us breadcrumbs, right? So maybe she wasn't as receptive as she usually was, and it triggered you. So you immediately ghosted, and now you're tempted to go back to that lady that will make you feel better. Or second option is that you didn't reach out, but you were about to. But you were maybe triggered. Maybe you went into her social media, you saw something that she posted or something that she said, and again she triggered your shadows. So you immediately wanted to go back to the comfort zone, to the karmic comfort zone. But I feel like you are powering through. You would know at this point. That your feminine is not triggering you because she's a karmic, but she's triggering you because she's a true soul connection. The reason you're in pain, the reason you're in longing is because you want that happiness, and you have faith that this happiness would happen. This is why they're putting you in an emotion of strength. They wanting you to fight this temptation. They wanting you to fight the shallowness. They wanting you to build self-respect towards yourself through self-control. Not falling into the old patterns. Understanding, the difference between passion and between lust. Understanding that you are now just in a moment of loneliness. Let's do some shadow work. I want to do a couple of these for you, where you really are. What are the shadows that you need to work through? And then we're going to do tarot on top of that. So let's do 4. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Resist to that temptation. You just have to, I feel like this collective, you have to stop working on an autopilot. That's it. I feel like this is really what patterns are, right? We're not realizing our patterns. We're ignoring our karma, baby, at the bottom of the deck. We're ignoring our patterns, right? And we act on an autopilot. We don't. This is the issue, and I think this is the biggest lesson right now for this collective. Your second card was, what was it? Was it contemplation? I don't remember. It was a really nice card. It was the energy that I want you to embody. Reflecting. Look at him. Reflecting. I feel this is one of the biggest issue of this collective, that in the past you would act on an impulse, from impulse to impulse. So on an impulse you would probably reach out to your feminine, and then something would happen. On an impulse you would bounce back to that other lady to numb the pain that you were feeling, because you didn't want to just stop to reflect. Why am I feeling this way? What is happening? You were acting on a subconscious autopilot, subconscious patterns, destructive karmic patterns. Your first card, number 46, is yes, you can. Yes, you can break the pattern. Yes, you can change your life. Yes, you can live life differently. Take a step back is your second card, number 52. Take a step back. You've never taken a step back in any situation. It would probably be very much one of these masculines that are distractions. Boom, 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 from one distraction to another. Not to stop, not to think, not to reflect. Take a step back. Take a step back. I ask you, why do you feel that you are tempted by this woman right now? Do you really believe that it's because love was reignited? No, she has something that you want, and she will give it to you for free. Something that your feminine is no longer willing to do, and something that no woman who respects herself is able to do, and something that no woman who will really be able to give you true love and a true soul connection would ever do. Take a step back into that situation. Really examine what are your motives every time you feel. every time you feel drawn to these ladies. Because I feel like whenever you're drawn to your feminine, it's because you feel you miss her in your soul. You magnetically pull towards her because you miss her frequency, you miss her energy. There's love in it. And what it's blocking you is lack of courage, is lack of consistency, of lack of still your masculine strength. Whereas every time you are pulled towards this other lady, it's because there's lust, there's passion, there's ego need for something. But none of them is to blame, because we could say many things about this first lady, right? But the karmic lady. But again, no matter who a woman is, women are not vending machines. So it is you who come, you go and you take what you need from her. And it's the truth. So it doesn't really matter. And it's also the biggest mistake and the biggest misconception when people, live lives. They keep like, oh, she's the bad one and this one is the good one. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I always say this, imagine they're both mirrors. She could be the most low vibrational woman on the face of the planet. She still deserves your respect. Because it is you. It is within you how you treat others. So take a step back. I feel like this is, remember what we said in the previous part, I feel like this is going to be one of these situations that if you take the good decision, the right decision, you will be rewarded. Here's your treat, good boy. Good boy. You have the strength within you. They're trying to build your strength. They're trying to show you that you have been repeating patterns. We have number 54, you affect them too. Isn't that what I just said? Isn't that what I just said? I feel like you are still in a mindset when you're focusing on you, right? Think about this again. Take a step back. You move towards your feminine, whether you actually reach out or you were about to, right? So then something happened, something triggered you, and you were worried about you. You weren't worried if you actually reached out. You weren't worried that you ghosted her, that you disappointed her again, that you hurt her again, that you disrupted her peace, and then you were, gone with the wind. You're worried about you because she triggered me, because I don't feel good, because I don't feel courageous enough, because I'm scared, because this and that, me, boom. And now you're considering going to this other lady. And yet again, you're only thinking of yourself. You're not thinking as a divine masculine would. So, okay, this woman is wounded. So what we have is very low vibrational. It makes no sense. In the end, I'm only going to get hurt and she is going to get hurt, because if she's acting like this, it's also because she's probably like desperately seeking for love, and she's so much denial that she doesn't even know this, right? But again, you're thinking of you. I want, right? Because I need it. I want to feel validated. I want to feel desired. I want to feel wanted. I want to feel like a man. You. Take a step back and think about someone else than you. How do you make people feel? Every time in the dynamics you have with this woman and with your person and then the other woman, how do you make them feel with your behavior? I know that when you do that, it's not malicious because it's subconscious, it's a pattern. So it's not like you're not thinking of them because you're this evil person, but you're so deeply wounded. When we are bound in our shadows, bound in our own wounds, we don't have the capacity to look beyond because we're in survival mode. We're just trying to live another day, right? And your final one is victim mentality. It's victim mentality. I feel it's really, they're preparing you to really start. I feel this masculine, this may be probably a very first reading. I always say this, that I usually tap into masculines who are farther along the way the journey, because at the initial stages, you wouldn't even listen, you wouldn't even know. The denial is so deep, right? But I feel like you're starting to move towards that point in your life when you will do some self-reflection, when you will start thinking how you affect others too. It's easier to play the victim, blame others, or blind faith for our lack of happiness, success, or fulfillment. In reality, success, love, and fulfillment are vibrations that we must first achieve within to ever be able to attract them externally. We talked about this. Accountability can be challenging, but it can also be empowering. In pain and lack exists in your life, you must accept that you attract them that through this vibration. If deep down you don't believe you deserve more than pain, loneliness, and failure, that is all you will ever get. Be careful. Victim mentality is a risky, tricky shadow rooted deeply in our subconscious mind and fed by fear. To go deeper, examine mother wound. Victim mentality usually comes from mother wound because lack of the feminine energy is supposed to teach us in our life the self-worth, the self-love, the deep self-love, unconditional self-love to self. But this is exactly what we were talking about. You feel lonely. Subconsciously, you want fulfillment, you want love, but you're running around between all these women and you cannot get it and you blame them, but it's not them. It's not them. It's time to shift. It's time to think more about how you affect them than yourself. And it's time to take accountability how you act and not how they act towards you. Important moment on your journey. Important moment. If you found this timeless video, whenever it's going to find you, whenever it's going to pop out on your feed and you're actually going to reach to this point of this reading, means that you're ready. You're ready to start to live a better life. Start reflecting. Yes, you can. The Fool. Leap of faith, new beginning. I feel this is for you. This is for you. You are ready to start to say no to shallow things that only temporarily numb the pain and to start figuring out, why do I feel this pain in the first place? Eight of Cups. Take a step back. Release what doesn't serve you. Release what does. It's time to move on. And this collective, sorry, I'm just sitting on something. And this collective, you would know this because in your very first spread, we had this energy of moving away, right? So you are tempted right now. That was your first card, temptation. But then you had self-reflection, you have ship moving away, karmic relationship, and working on it. So she's still tempting you. She still has some sort of a power over you to tempt you. But now you know she's a karmic connection. I have to move away from this. It's a healthy thing to move away from this. You're reflecting. It's a good thing. It's time to let go. It's time to walk away, to take a step back and really notice that no, perhaps you still will have other karmic relationships that you will have to learn through. Perhaps it's not going to be time to, return to your feminine because you're really on the beginning of your conscious healing journey. But, there's a karmic and there's a karmic. This is very low vibrational. This has to go. You have to move away from this. It's a pattern that has to be broken. We have King of Wands and Three of Coins, both in reverse. Not learning from past mistakes. And that's on top of that you affect them too. I feel you were... Listen, if I'm going to say this and you're still here, it means that you're ready for a little bit of tough love and for a little bit of harsh self-reflection. You have been through this rodeo many, many times. This is the first time when you're starting to consciously reflect that it's not the way it's supposed to be. Okay? And you're realizing that you were a third-party friction, that you weren't learning from the past. Now it's time to learn your lesson. What do I always say to you guys? In order to truly close a karmic contract, you have to learn a lesson. And to learn a lesson, you have to be in a deep reflection on yourself, on other people, on the situation overall. So you really have to analyze this from all angles. But men, you're good at this because you're very logical. This breakdown of a situation, this analysis, this deep dive, you can do this. You can do this even if you start from a logical part without the emotions yet if you're not ready. But logically, think about this logically. You have been repeating a pattern. And it's because I feel like this collective, you feel very lonely. You crave this real, raw connection with another human being. And now it's time to realize that what you're craving, how you're trying to achieve that, is not the way. It's not the way. Men, you express love and you connect for intimacy. Intimacy is incredibly important to you. And sometimes when you're wounded, you get confused because it's not in intimacy itself that connection is formed. Intimacy is a conduit for that, is a channel for that connection, right? It's a beautiful way of expressing and of feeling that connection, right? We can feel it through our sacral, we can feel it through our heart. When we really healed, we use both of these channels and we use them simultaneously. That is true connection, right? But because you don't fully understand that, whenever you crave that connection, whenever you crave love, you look for intimacy. But it's not fixing anything. Similarly, what I said to you, women, we look for that love, but we usually then ignore red flags, and we think that we see what is really not there, right? When you feel alone, you will never stop feeling alone if you do not love, if you don't find that wholeness and that love within yourself. You have to love yourself first. Start from loving yourself enough to say no to a woman that does not touch your soul. I feel you are a bit of in the past, I feel you breaking through, but there was this energy of being bound by ego, of being, it's my way or hit the highway. It's like when we really, people who are very controlling, it's because they fear that they actually don't have control, right? So they don't accept certain things for what they are, right? They also lack self-esteem, because when you're controlling in a relationship, when you want to be the boss in a relationship, when you want to be the ruler in a relationship, it's usually because you don't really trust in yourself and in your partner and in your connection. I really feel, I feel you, this collective, because I feel you really crave deep connection. You crave deep love. You crave that intimacy when you're going to hold each other's hands in the process, when you're going to look in each other's eyes, when you're going to be talking to each other. But a lady ain't going to give it to you, because it comes from soul connection. You cannot create this with just anyone. You cannot. And you get it wrong. You get it wrong, this not just this collective, wounded men. You think it's the intimacy that creates that. But again, it's just a channel. 7 of Wands. That's on top of that victim mentality. I am hearing boundaries. But you know what I always say about boundaries? Boundaries are a natural byproduct of self-love. You have to love yourself more. 8 of Coins. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right now, you are acting on an impulse. You are living pattern to pattern. Subconsciously, you are on autopilot. Slow down. There are different things in life than just shallow distraction, than just women that just searching for validation from other people. Commit to yourself. Seek. I know that it's hard to understand that for men. Seek that connection within yourself. You crave the connection that will make you feel seen, that will make you feel loved, that will make you feel valued. Right? Build that with yourself. I feel this collective, you're guided really to go hermit. To go hermit. You have to slow down because you have to switch off this autopilot. Now I feel like this, before I even understand why I feel this way, how I feel, and where it's coming from, I'm going to numb it with something. With shallow intimacy, with maybe substances, with maybe parties, maybe some shallow friends. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Go deeper. If you ever want to allow someone to go deeper with you and to have that true connection, you have to go deeper on yourself, with yourself. 10 of Wands. Release your burden. It sort of felt like both ways. Release your burden. I feel that, this collective, what you thought that was your liberation and what you thought that was taking away that pain, that lady, you would probably at one point think this to yourself, that she is there every time I need her. It's not what being there for someone we love is really about, okay? It's not, and you're understanding this. What you thought that was she's always there and she's my liberation, whenever I need that release, she's there for me, was actually your burden. It's actually your burden. And don't I always say it? I don't want to repeat myself because I sound like a broken record. But you guys, exchange of sacral energy is the most powerful exchange of energy between two human beings. We create cords with another person. We absorb their traumas subconsciously. So the more you have intimacy with someone, you're going to feel within you all their traumas, all their insecurities. You're going to be connected to them for energy cords for a very long time. A very long time. Emotional imbalance. I feel there are certain emotions that are awakening within you. This is what's creating this overwhelmed, because I feel this collective, you were disconnected very much from your emotions for a very long time. This is what we said about that you affect them too, remember? That you didn't feel your own emotions, but when we don't feel our own emotions, we are incapable of feeling the emotions of others. It is through mastery of our own internal world, our own emotions, understanding where we feel them in the body, where they come from, what shadows they link to, what are they trying to teach us. Only when we master our own emotions, we can then tap into that empathy and feel the emotions of others without focusing on us and our ego. And without that, you will never create the deep connection and actual relationship, mature relationship. Never. It's impossible. It's only going to be one-sided. And you have that mirror one-sided. 9 of Wands, test of faith. 7 of Wands and now 9 of Wands. It's a very protective energy. I feel like it's really time for you to realize, and Spirit wants you to say no. No. To have boundaries. To have faith that better things are available for you. But you have to I always say this, when you accept something, what universe understands is okay. It means you're okay with this. You don't want no more. If you want more in life, deeper connections that are more real, that are more based on love, you have to start saying no to shallowness, no to shallow ladies, no to low vibrational ladies, no to meaningless intimacy. No, universe, I want more. Show me how. Show me how to heal, and they will show you. They will show you. Just know it's a huge moment of temptation for you. It's a huge moment. Are you going to choose the right way, or are you going to choose the easy way? And I have faith in you that you will choose the right way, because you're ancient soul. If you are on this journey, it's because you're magic. You have it in you.